I lost $132,000, $567.32 in 1 year, and let me share you how. So let's just jump right into the video. So how did I lose around $132,000? The main reason is called shiny object syndrome. Once again, shiny object syndrome. What is that? What is shiny object syndrome? As somebody who suffers from it greatly, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of growth oriented people suffer from shiny object syndrome. So let's talk about it. Let's define it. So first, it's you see something, you need something new, right? Maybe you've been investing in stocks, you haven't been doing well, you try it out for 3 to 6 months, no success, you lost some money, you kind of gave up hope. So what's next? Ooh, I need something new. What's new? Hey, I just heard from my friend that he flips real estate and that makes great money. Let me try flipping real estate. I have this new shiny thing, which is flipping real estate. And then after I try flipping real estate, I realized that it's not that great. It's stressful as well. I lost money in my deal, and I'm back to where I was before with stocks. I lost interest. So this continuous cycle of you need something new, you find something that's shiny and new, then eventually you lose interest in that. And you repeat that cycle over and over and over again. And every time you lose money, you lose hope, you get stressed, you have no results, right? I suffer from this. And how did I lose about $132,000? It's because of three cases or three instances of shiny object syndrome. So let's dive right into it. So, number one, I lost around $60,000 due to this shiny object syndrome, and it caused me the most stress. What is it? It's my mobile home park. So for those who are new to the channel, I own 5 single-family homes, 2 apartment complexes in Oklahoma, and a mobile home park in Alabama. So, when I bought my first apartment complex in 2021, I thought it'd be a great idea because I have an apartment already. Check off my list, right? I don't need to buy a second apartment complex. Why not buy a completely different asset class in a different market where I have no team? Right? Sounds smart. No, no, it's not. Right? It's not smart. So this is a double whammy. First of all, I have a team in Oklahoma that manages apartment complexes and renovates apartment complexes. Instead of buying a second apartment complex in Oklahoma, I decided to buy a mobile home park, which is a completely different asset class. It's in Alabama, different market. And I don't have a team there, right? So, for me, when I bought my 26 unit, I was just like, hey, I did this, check it off. And after that, I was looking between a 50 unit apartment complex in Oklahoma versus a mobile home park in Alabama. And I was just like, well, I already own an apartment complex, so why not diversify and get a mobile home park? Right? That made sense to me, 2 years ago. Now I look back and I wish I would have punched myself, bought that 50 unit apartment complex, and had the economies of scale in Oklahoma and not deal with the stress of the mobile home park, right? But I fell victim to shiny object syndrome. So you listen to all podcasts. Mobile home parks are cash cows. Um, you can't lose. It's affordable housing. Make a lot of money. It's cash flow oriented. Well, that's what all the podcasts want you to hear because they're trying to raise money from you, right? So, let me share the reality. I bought my mobile park 2 years ago. I put the most time, the most energy, the most money into my mobile home park. I put about 80% of my time and effort and money into this mobile home park. And why, you might ask? Well, the mobile home park has more moving pieces, right? You have an off-site property manager, you got an on-site property manager, you got homes that you own as a landlord called park-owned homes, you got tenant-owned homes, you have to deal with landscaping of 55 acres of land, you got to trim trees, you got to deal with water, garbage, power lines, you got to have security. In order to bring in new homes, you got to, work with a mobile home manufacturer like Clayton Homes, coordinate with the delivery, coordinate with installer, set it up, have your contractor skirt the home, connect the utilities, do an inspection with the utility company, and then you can rent the home or sell the home. Those are so many steps, right? Apartment, you literally just renovate the apartment, make it rent ready, rent it out. That's it. Plain and simple. So basically, the more moving pieces, the more people involved, there's more points of failure and more points of delay. And as we all know, time is money. So the more delays you have, it costs you more money. So despite me putting in 80% of my time, 80% of my energy, 80% of my stress, 80% of my money, I'm selling my mobile home park for a $60,000 loss. I'm gonna do a full video talking about that, breaking it down. And I put 20% of my time into my two apartment complexes. It's about 46 units for my two apartment complex, 120 unit, 126. And literally, I put 20% of my time, and both of those deals killed it. Where I put all my time in the mobile home park, that deal lost. So I put 20% of my effort into this apartment, and I got 80% of my results. Versus the mobile home park, I put 80% of my effort, and I lost money. It's a no-brainer at this point, right? So had I rewinded, punched myself, and bought that 50 unit, I'd be in a completely different position. I would have owned 3 apartment complexes in Oklahoma. I'd have a team there. So I've, the same contractor, the same property manager, and I just talked to one person and I know the area, I know the market, right? So what was my lesson that I learned from the $60,000 loss? So you don't have to lose $60,000 like me, right? The lesson I learned is stick to one market, one asset class. So for me, my one market would be Oklahoma. My one asset class is apartments. Had I just focused in on that, I would have not lost money, right? Like that 50 unit that I bought, if I bought it, I thought it was overpriced at 2.5 million. That's 50K a door. They're probably now around 60K a door. And I had great loan terms at that time in 2021 at, probably 4%. Today, 2023, it's 8 to 9%. So, and it was a Section 8 housing. So the money is guaranteed, right? I'm kicking myself right now. You can't see it, but I'm kicking myself because had I focused, had I not deviated to mobile home parks, I would have probably made money and maybe even be retired from my job, right? I'd have 100 good units versus I had to sell my mobile home park for a loss. Now I'm back down to 50 units, 50 good units, right? So key lesson, one market, one asset class. That's all you need to get rich and get wealthy and have financial freedom, whatever you want. One market, one asset class. That's it. So let's talk about the second case of shiny object syndrome. So this one costed me $35,000 approximately. So for me, I was watching YouTube, it was 2021 and this YouTuber, famous YouTuber, don't want to disclose their name, unless this gets a lot of likes, and maybe I will. But I bought a $30,000 drop shipping Amazon store from a popular finance and real estate YouTuber. Right? According to the videos, you would make $5,000 to $10,000 per month passively without much time, much energy, much effort. Wow, doesn't sound like every guru, scam commercial, right? Wow, I thought I can replace my W-2 income without much time, energy, or effort, and this is a great way to diversify. I own real estate. I work my W-2. I'm trying to build a social media brand, and I have an e-commerce store, right? Hey, maybe the e-commerce store, if it makes 5 to 10K, I can go part-time, right? And this is amazing. It's no energy, no effort. It's done for you. And this YouTuber even encouraged people to get a personal line of credit, at higher interest rates of 10%. Because if you buy his Amazon dropshipping store, you will make your money back. But wait, there's more. There's an 18-month money back guarantee. There's zero risk, or so I thought, right? So what really happened? They set up my Amazon store. It wasn't too bad. I think I had it was a Walmart store, and it was passive. Very passive for me. The problem is I was passively losing money every month, right? That's not good. I can't leave my job like that. The operation team was unorganized. It was clearly a startup. I was probably one of their first 100 stores, so I was definitely a guinea pig. And what happened was I opened my Walmart dropshipping store. Within a month, it got canceled. So basically, they said, "Hey, you know what? For free of charge, we're gonna give you an Amazon store instead of a Walmart store because your Walmart store got shut down." I said, "Great, you're so nice," but the caveat is if I wanted to get the Amazon store, I had to sign a contract which removed my 18-month guarantee. So Okay, my zero risk is out the window now, but I had no choice. I if I don't sign this contract, I just lose my Walmart store and I lost 30,000. But I'm forced to sign this contract in a way, and I got an Amazon store free, right? Well, free, well, I lost my 18-month guarantee, so my $30,000 is now at risk. And after that, my Amazon store started selling. It started selling products at a loss. And how convenient. If the store loses money, I front all the losses. But if we make money, we split 50-50. Oh, how convenient, right? When I lose, you don't pay anything. When I make money, it's 50-50, right? So this is what happens when you get into greed and fast, quick money, right? It's like it's a drug. I'm a pharmacist. Drug. It's a drug, right? So okay, like he this YouTuber must have pivoted 5 to 10 times in his business model. He kept on making videos explaining why things are not going well, what he's going to do, and it had 5 to 10 pivots. And at this point, I lost about another $5,000 because he was passively selling products, so I was passively losing money. And this is over 12 months, so I'm all in for $35,000. And at this point, he kind of said, "Hey, we have our final model. He's gonna buy products in bulk, sell it to me, to my store, then my store would sell it." I'm like, doesn't that kind of sound like a pyramid scheme? You sell me Cutco knives at a profit. Now I'm stuck with Cutco knives, and I need to sell these Cutco knives at a higher price. But if I don't sell it, I'm stuck with it, right? So it got kind of fishy. It wasn't worth my mental time, wasn't worth my energy. I was renovating my 2 apartments, my mobile park, working. I was like, you know what, this isn't worth it. Move on. And basically move on my life. I took a loss. This is a lesson in hard knocks, right? And this popular YouTuber shut down his e-commerce business, took the loss. He never admitted to his mistake, so he doesn't want to ruin his online reputation. And probably only he made money. And he had about 300 stores, so that's $9 million. And I'm pretty sure all the stores that he ran all lost money. I remember I was part of this Facebook group and basically everyone in that Facebook group, which was at least 100 people, they all lost money like the way I did, right? So basically, my lesson learned is there's no such thing as quick and easy money that requires zero effort, right? Like if you join my course, you join my mentorship, I tell you it's hard. Like my goal by you joining my course mentorship is to just try to weed you out. If you get weeded out, you shouldn't be buying an apartment complex. You shouldn't be doing real estate. You should just make it easier like index funds, right? So that's my goal. I want to make it, hey, you're gonna have to save $300,000 to buy your first apartment complex, and you may have to buy a single family home first that you house hack, own that for 5 years, and once the equity build up, you can then sell that 1031 exchange and go buy your first apartment complex once you have $300,000 of equity. That's not easy, right? It's not quick. It requires a lot of effort, harder to sell, but it's more realistic, right? So no such thing as quick and easy money. Learn from my $35,000 mistake, right? Regret it. I could have bought some real estate today with that $35,000. So to make matters even worse, I had a third instance of shiny object syndrome, and this one I lost 35,000 as well. So I'm a pharmacist. That's my day job. I'm a pharmacist. I work in the hospital. So doesn't it make sense to open up my own pharmacy? I had 3 partners who weren't pharmacists. This is a great partnership, right? 3 pharmacists. One guy was a marketing guy who wasn't good at marketing. One guy owned 2 pharmacies, but he wasn't a good operator because his partner ended up doing the operations. And we had an IT guy who had no art pharmacy background, but he was willing to do work, right? So for me, I realized that I'd go to work, do my 9 to 5, and after that, go to this other pharmacy, and it was only me there. And I just quickly found out that, pharmacy is a dying business, right? It's a profit. It's a race to the bottom. Rite Aids are being closed down. Amazon's doing pharmacy. It's not worth it. So I basically quit the partnership rapidly. I think I quit within like 4 months and lost my initial seed money of $35,000. And, my lesson learned is, don't start a brick and mortar business that has high overhead costs and requires your physical time. This is why I love social media and courses and mentorship. It's a higher leverage. It doesn't require as much of my time. It doesn't require as much of my effort, and there's not much overhead. So even if I don't sell anything or whatever and don't make money, I just wasted my time and not my money. What versus when you own a brick and mortar pharmacy, you have to pay rent, utilities, pay a pharmacist, pay a courier, pay a pharmacy technician, buy the drugs, right? There's a lot of overhead costs. associated with that versus right now I'm just talking to a camera. That's free, right? It just costing my time. So, to kind of summarize, let's go through my $132,000 roughly of mistakes. Number one was I bought a mobile home park when I'm better at apartments. Number two is I try to do quick and easy drop shipping Amazon store. And number three is I tried a brick and mortar business that has high overhead costs. So all that, I lost $130,000, real life MBA in 1 year, right? Learn from my mistake. Don't lose money like me, right? Why do we fall victim to this shiny object syndrome? Why? So the first phase, I call it uninformed optimism, right? So I failed at single family homes, but things will be different with apartments. Does this sound familiar? We think apartments will be easier compared to single family homes, but the reality, you're just uninformed and you're living off and overly optimistic. You're living off of hopium. As time goes on, you get a reality check called informed pessimism. You start to realize, you know what, apartments are much harder than I expected. You have to run it like a business, operate like a business, have systems, have teams, have processes, more money, more stress, right? So once you're stopped with reality, um, you basically, instead of persisting, you pivot to something new, something uninformed optimism again. This is a new sense of hopium, new sense of energy, new sense of uninformed optimism. Rinse, repeat this process over and over again. All right. Now I failed at apartments. Let me do mobile home parks. Failed at mobile home parks. Let me do self storage. Failed at self storage. Let me do Airbnb. Does it sound familiar? Does it feel familiar? So if I just remove all distractions, no mobile home park, no Amazon dropshipping store, no pharmacy, use all that time, all that energy, all that money in apartments, I'd be much better financially than I am today and a lot less stress. Key is less stress, right? So just pick one thing. Well, the one thing that you have your unfair advantage in. Doesn't matter what it is. Single family homes in Dallas, Texas. Mobile home parks in California. Duplexes in Utah. Mine's apartments in Oklahoma. And single family homes in California. And single family homes in Alabama. That's my unfair advantage. I should just commit to that one thing for 1 decade or the rest of my life and watch my wealth compound. Scaling alone creates complexity. So if I own 500 units in Oklahoma down the road, that already creates complexity. I'm probably going to need an asset manager that I need to hire to manage that. But isn't it easier for my asset manager to do 500 units in Oklahoma versus I had 100 in Oklahoma, 100 in Texas, 100 in Alabama, 100 in Tennessee, 100 in Georgia? It's way more complicated, right? So commit to that one thing for a decade and watch it grow. The silver lining of all of this is I have clarity now. All I need are apartments in Oklahoma to build more wealth than I ever need of, right? Just my 2 apartments right now, it's probably cash flowing about $8,000 net a month. And I just sold my mobile home park and I'm carrying a note in second lien position, which is paying me about $2,200 a month. So I have about $10K a month net in passive income, which replaces my income right now as W-2, as a pharmacist. So I hit it, right? But had I not had the shiny object syndrome with the mobile home park, I'd probably be at maybe like $15,000 net a month, right? So, the key is you live and learn. So, the key moral of this story is I want you to think, what's my unfair advantage that I can do for the rest of my life? What's the one thing that I can do for the rest of my life? Yes, it'll be boring, but boring makes money. Boring is when you get better. Boring is when you build true wealth. True wealth building and the best strategies are never exciting. What's the best way to buy stocks? Just buy index funds every month. Dollar cost average from Vanguard. Every month, automate. That's it. Simple. Probably the most effective versus trying to day trade, right? What's the best strategy to build wealth long term? Just buy good single family homes in a market that's appreciating with good job location, right? California, Huntsville, Alabama. Do it over time. You won't make money today, but in 10 years you might. Or you just buy apartments in Oklahoma where you have a team and you have unfair advantage, right? Like why would I not do any of those? So, hopefully you learn from my stress, you learn from my experience, and this gave you some clarity. And hopefully this can, help you combat shiny object syndrome and know that you're not alone. I suffer from it, and If you watch one of their videos, I own 90 units of real estate. It seems successful, but I have losses too, right? And I just want to highlight that even I lose, right? I'm not perfect. I lose. I make mistakes. I lost $130,000, and the key is to get back up, learn, and when you're in that moment of stress and rock bottom, look around, absorb, because you're in learning mode. And when you learn during that stress, that's when you get clarity. So that's how I have so much clarity now, and it's sad because now real estate's not gonna be exciting for me because I'm just do the same boring things. But boring is what works. So now I'm trying to put my time and energy and shiny object into social media because it's free, right? So once again, hopefully this helps you not lose money and not suffer from shiny object syndrome like me. Hopefully you found value in this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.